there are some things which are susceptible to science and engineering. And there are some things that just aren't. You know, I've never seen a computer program that will help you get along with your teenage daughter. Show me the science that tells you how to improve the kiss you give your wife. Doesn't exist. Where is the mathematical formula for a happy marriage? No, it's not there. Doesn't exist. And so you have to ask yourself, what is central banking anyway? Is it a science? Or is it more kind of like poetry? Is it an art? And take something like judging. That's something. Judging is serious work. But has there been any improvement at all, any improvement scientific or otherwise, in judging since the time of Solomon? I don't think so. I don't think there's been any improvement in judging, in kissing, or in raising a family. And I don't think there has been any improvement in central banking either. These are things that don't get better by taking out wrenches and screwdrivers. All you can do is stick with the basics. And that usually works. That's the best you can do. Let's see. Anyhow, the idea of economics as a science is totally, totally preposterous. And yet, you know, in order to be a science, you'd have to have a disprovable hypothesis, which you never have. You'd have to have initial conditions that you could, you know, all these things about science that we never have in economics. But nevertheless, on the basis of two, and by the way, for science, you have to be able to measure things, which I'm going to get to. And our whole, and this policy, this Federal Reserve policy, depends on two numbers. And those numbers, 2.5 and 6.5, I think. And one's the inflation rate, and one's the unemployment rate. And okay, all right, well, that sounds scientific until you start looking at those numbers. You know, the numbers are quantities. They add things together. But you take the inflation rate. You all know this, but I'm going to go over it anyway. there have been, you know, what is the inflation rate? Now you'd think that's just quantity, right? Just add up stuff. Anybody can do that. But it's not that easy. You know, there are lots of things go on in deciding what to put into that basket. And if you work hard enough, you know, you can get that number anywhere you want it. And the feds have done a great job at that. They have redone the way they calculate the inflation rate twice in the last 30 years. And guess what? Each time they've gotten a lower number. How do you like that? What a coincidence. And if you did it the way they did it in the 90s, well, before the last revision. Now, right now, we have an inflation rate of about 2%. If you did it the way they did it in the 90s, you'd have 6%. Okay, that's 4% difference, but it's, you know, it's 3 times the rate that we're working from. And if you did it the way they did it during the Carter administration, you'd have an inflation rate of almost 10%. That's 5 times the number we're working with. Now, here's the question. You know, economists, each time, each of these numbers was done by a group of economists, the brightest and best in the country. Now, which one of these groups was a bunch of dunderheads? One of them was. 2 of them were. How come? How are you supposed to know that? Which one is right? I don't know. But that's what you get in a credit-based system. You're dealing with a lot of little things that you can't know. Doesn't work.
Sign up for your free subscription to the Daily Reckoning and gain access to exclusive insights, forecasts, and recommendations that you won't find anywhere else. Simply click here.